In this video, I'm going to show you a very simple way of making flowers. The way you can get started with this, making flowers with alcohol inks. It's going to be very easy and anybody can do it this way. So for this, I will show you on Nara papers as well as Yupo paper. This technique works extremely well on Yupo paper, so you can definitely try it on your Yupo sheets. So what I'm going to do first, this is a simple flower that I'm going to make, just one flower on this sheet, a bigger one. So what I'm going to do is, I have taken out two inks, Fiesta and Pitch Black by Ranger. These are the two inks that I will be using, and I will first put a drop of Fiesta. I want to make the flower not right in the center. I want to make it slightly off center. That's the way I like it. So I am going to pour like 2 to 3 drops of Fiesta like this. Wherever you want, you can do that. You can make it in the center as well if you like that. And then I'm going to use my dryer to dry this dot. You can let this air dry as well if you want to. And then I am using pitch black and making a dot in the center of this so that I get a darker center in my flower. And again I'm drying it with my dryer. So once this is dry, this is how it looks and this is what we need to get started. I will now keep a few things ready with me. One is a piece of paper, tissue paper or paper towel, and any kind of straw that you have. For this technique, I prefer a slightly wider straw as compared to the usual straw. So this one I have taken out from a water bottle, so you can use a similar straw or even this one is okay, but I prefer a slightly wider straw if possible. Otherwise you can use this one, which I will show you in the next video, the next technique. So I have to keep all these things ready: one straw, one paper towel, and this bottle of alcohol and my dryer. So all these things are ready with me now. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to put a drop of alcohol touching the black part as well as the pink part and make a circle like this with the alcohol over here at this place. And then I will use the straw to blow on it from here, almost like slightly 1 centimeter away from the paper, almost close to the paper, and I will just blow it once with a mouthful of air, like a blast. So I will just do at once to get nice crisp lines, and then immediately I will hold my dryer over here and let the ink go away and create a petal shape. And at the same time, I will hold my tissue in my hand, and in case it's going out of control and the petal shape is not forming properly, I need to capture that and then wipe the excess to create a proper shape of the petal. So let's get started. Keep everything ready with you: a tissue paper, a straw, and alcohol. Then first thing is to put alcohol like this, touching the pink part and the green part. Then blow on it with the straw in one spurt, just like this, and immediately hold your dryer to dry this, just like this. That's how the first petal looks, and just like in the same way you can keep making more. This time I did not use the paper towel because the shape was coming out fine, so I did not need to use it. but just in case I need, I will use it. So the next petal next to it now, another circle shape over here, and with the straw I will blow on it with one big spurt. And then I will fold the dryer over here and just dry it simply. Do not move the dryer a lot to and fro. There's no need to do that. Just hold it still towards the center of the flower so that the ink can flow out and dry smoothly. If you move the dryer too much, you will not get a smooth flow, but you will get strange lines anywhere in the middle. So just be cautious about that. And the next one. Again, exactly the same way. So, I'm not very happy with the edges of this petal. Sometimes that is going to happen, which is absolutely okay. We are going to clean it at the end with the tissue paper. So once again, I make a 5-petal flower over here. So wait for a while, wait for 1 second, blow on it, and immediately hold the dryer at the center so that the ink can dry. And then one more petal over here I will make. So now my initial shape of the flower is fine and I'm happy with how it's looking. I might not clean the edges, it's up to me, but if you want to, what we are going to do now to clean the edges, I'm just going to take this paper towel, put some alcohol on it, make a pointed tip with it, and this bottle was a little dirty, so let me just make another one. Put some alcohol at that point like this, and then just get rid of some of the tips that you do not like. Just like this, and give a slightly better shape to your flower. And keep changing, because like this part is dirty now. Don't keep wiping with the same part. Keep changing the side of your paper towel and then wipe again. And give a slightly better shape to the petal. You can even turn them into completely rounded petals as well if you want to, just by wiping. But I like this kind of shape in the petals. For any small corrections, you can also use Q-tips or earbuds. So sometimes the petal shapes will come out perfectly without any need to edit. So those ones, you can keep them as they are. They will look very natural and beautiful. For the rest of them, you can just clean them something like this and make a slightly better shape. And I'm keep rotating the tissue paper so that it's not dirty when you wipe again. And keep turning it in your hand as well. You can design the center of the flower in any way you like. You can use a white pen, create some dots, or you can use white ink to make some dots, or use golden pens, or whatever you like. I like to keep my center even darker, so sometimes I put an extra drop of black ink on top of the center because I like it that way, but you're free to create the center design in any way you like. And any minor things, like over here we can use the earbud to clean the Q-tip. Easier to clean with a Q-tip. So almost over with cleaning of the petals, the edges. Alright, and then I am simply going to use a little bit of Q-tip to make the edges even slightly more defined. So Q-tip like this, some alcohol, and just run it at the edges to give a more defined shape. That's it. Because sometimes it's harder to reach, make curves. And some colors might stain the paper more than the others, so just be cautious about that, because sometimes pinks and indigo and those kind of darker colors stain the paper a lot. So if you already know which colors are the ones that stain more, just don't use them for this technique if you want to do the cleanup. But if you like the rough edges of the petals like this, you can just leave them like that. That also looks really cool. Done. So that's how my flower looks so far, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. So what I'm going to do next is, because I like the center to be darker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another drop of pitch black on top over here in the middle. It will expand on its own, just in case it's not going where you want it to. Just use your tool to take it there, just like this. And I'm gonna dry it again. Isn't it beautiful? Such an easy way to create a simple flower. Just try it, it's gonna be amazing. And you can make more of these next to each other. So this is the first one, and now let me do the next one on Yupo paper. So this is Nara paper, and I'm gonna do another one on Yupo paper. This time I will not make one big flower. Instead, I will try to make an abstract kind of a composition, just like you saw in one of the YouTube videos. So for that, what I'm going to do is just place some colors here and there. I have taken out two shades, Wild Plum and Amethyst. So just put a few drops here and there like this. No design in my mind. I'm just, putting them randomly. Oops, the bottle splattered. And then some more of this amethyst. I like to touch them or make them close to each other so that when I blow the petals out, they come out in different colors. So and then I want to dry them a little bit. This time I'm going to use this thin straw because I can make small petals as well if I use the thin straw. So what I'm going to do is just put a drop anywhere I like, blow on it once, and just leave it like this. Let it dry on its own. And while it is drying, I can move on to some other place, let's say over here, and blow that. Keep making more at places where it is, dry. Just remember to let the previous petals dry before you make another one overlapping it or next to it so that they don't merge together. And try to make the petal in one burst of, from your straw. Don't go over it again and again because that will destroy the shape of the petal. Just try and practice and make it at once. Keep turning the paper to whichever side is convenient to you. You might also notice me, if you want a rounded petal shape, what you can do is once you blow it straight and it becomes something like this, you blow slightly from the edges as well so that it becomes like this and joins in the center over here. So when you put a drop and you blow on it, see, something like this, just blow slightly from the sides as well so that it joins at the top instead of remaining separated like this. Now all you need to do is keep creating more and more till the time you are happy with the composition. And we can of course add darker areas later on if we like to at any point by just putting some more alcohol. And like in this case, if there is too much ink and the shape is getting destroyed or it's going out of the paper, just wipe with a paper towel. On Yupo paper, the ink dries slightly faster, so I'm not using the dryer in this, but you can use the dryer if you want to. Just pay attention that the previous petal should dry before you make another one, if close to it or touching it. And if it is not dry, you can use your dryer to dry it so that it dries faster. You can even wait for like a second after you put the alcohol so that uh, it can activate the ink underneath it. So that's also something that you can try. Just wait for 1 second before you blow out the petal. So like this, I'm waiting for 1 second. And then just figure out where you would like to have more petals and keep making. So this is like an abstract kind of a piece where there is no specific design in mind. And remember not to blow on it a lot because moisture from your mouth is going on the paper and that will keep adding a lot of droplets kind of feel. So just be careful about that. You can even change the straw after a few uses. This is a paper straw and I feel that it works better because it absorbs the moisture and it doesn't drip out, versus a steel straw or a plastic straw. When you keep blowing with this kind of a straw again and again, all the moisture accumulates inside the straw and after a while it starts coming out on the paper. So you can use a paper straw that works slightly better for this technique. And I'll make a few more and I think that should be enough for this. So I think I'm very happy with how this piece is looking. And I'll just use the dryer to dry it once and check if I want to add some more petals. Maybe one over here. And another over here. So you can keep a paper towel handy to catch the excess at the edges, otherwise you risk a chance of it running along the edges. If that happens, you can cut the sheet. That's also okay. Like over here, it ran up, next to the edges. So I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit from here with my tissue paper and just wiping it. Some amount of wiping you can do on Yupo paper without any problems. And I'm gonna dry it a little bit. And just because I like to do it, I'm going to spray on top of this so that I get some dots and some interesting things happening. So this is an alcohol filled spray bottle. This is 99% alcohol. I'm going to spray on it from slightly distance so that I don't get thick drops but thin drops. Oops. Just like this, I really like the effect that it creates. And if you want, you can do anything in the center. You can use your pens, you can use colors or alcohol inks and make dots. So that's up to you how you create the center, but that's how you create the flower part of these kind of abstract, easy to make flowers with the straw. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Bye bye.